All right, good morning, good evening, Mr. X's class. We're here to talk about the word final. Final is an adjective. People probably know the word final already. It has a couple of meanings. They all have to do with being at the end. So one adjective meaning one is being or happening at the end of a series of actions or events. So the final score of a game, the final class that you have each day is probably period 7 or period 6. That's your final class. It's the last one. It means the last one. Adjective number 2 is really similar because it says the result of a process. The result means what happens at the end of the process. So, like for definition 1, I have a sentence. This is the final week of academic vocabulary for quarter 2, sorry. Final week of academic vocabulary for quarter 2. And then the second definition, the final result of the calculations was 0. So the calculations would be a process. You're doing a process in math, and you get to the end, and you have a result, which is, so final can describe the result. It means the result at the end. So it's really similar to 1. And then finally, number 3, definition 3 is basically talking about like a final, when you say a final decision. Final decision means a decision that cannot be argued with. It's the end decision, and I'm not going to change my mind after that, the final decision. So my sentence for that is, you can't have candy for dinner. Maybe a parent could say to a child, you can't have candy for dinner, and that is my final decision. So stop complaining and saying you want candy for dinner. You have to eat your dinner. Okay? So final decision. Won't change. And the sentence over here, using the English, referring to things in English classes, we all know about final draft is the final version, the end version of something that you're turning in, that you're not going to change anymore. It's the end. So it's the result of the process of editing. You've reached your last step, the result, the final draft. In Spanish, final. Word families, I figured we can try to find the parts of speech to give us practice. What is the part of speech of finalize? And it's similar to isar in Spanish. It's a verb. It's an action. To finalize means to make something in its final form. To put it in its final form. Okay, finality. We saw this one yesterday. It is like idad. So what's that? It's a noun, yes. Finality means the state of being final. How about this one? Adverb, very good. Very good, Guadalupe. Yes. How do we know? The ly, the ending. That's right. A bunch of people said that. Yeah. So finally means at the end, describing when something happens. So an adverb can describe when an action happens. And finally, final can also be a noun. If you talk about final, like a final exam is called a final. Or a final game in a sports tournament or something. The final, like the championship, is called the final, right? Or you have an S, finals can be more than one. If you have more than one final exam, that's finals. Finals week, next week. The week when we have finals, which are the final exams. All right, and synonym last, antonym first. Are there any questions about the word final? Okay, then thank you very much for filming. Thank you for watching.